ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mail, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex, but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all, I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, oh, Bitcoin, what the heck are we going to do with this thing? We got some interesting price action here today, guys, as all week, pretty much, we went sideways, sticking to our macro POC of the range. And this is a huge level to be watching on the chart, guys, because as long as we remain below this POC, we are very unlikely to see more upside for Bitcoin. However, we are coming down to our last levels of support, which kind of we were at yesterday as well. At about, let's see, yesterday was the 6th. Yeah, almost at around stream time. We were literally at these exact prices. We are dropping a bit down below those, but we are coming up to some key levels of support that if are not held, was that English? Was that English? If are not held. If we are unable to hold those levels, guys, it could give us that next drop to the downside, bringing us closer to where we have that liquidity sitting closer to the value area low of that macro range at about $91,000 to $90,000. Mrs. Candles in the studio here. Mrs. Candles, let's see that hand real quick. Let's see that hand. Come on, let me see it. Let me see it. Are you going to pump Bitcoin? If I smell this, are you going to pump Bitcoin or no? Oh, God, she's attacking. She's attacking. Oh, God, hopefully that pumps Bitcoin. Guys, we're at key support. We got a Mrs. Candles hand sniff, and hopefully that gives us a little bit of a pump to the upside. And Mrs. Candles dropping some kind of mystery juice here. I don't know what this is, but I assume it's Super U. Shout out to Super U. You guys could check them out at wentwellness.com. We'll see if this will give us a little bit of extra juice on Bitcoin as well. But guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts as Bitcoin continues to go sideways, but we are somewhat in a dangerous situation. So I want to give you guys the bullish case, the bearish case, and I'll let you guys know which way I'm leaning and how I'm personally handling these trades. I am still holding my short from the top here at about $102,000. So we'll see if this continues to pay us out over the weekend. But shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. Let's see. We got B Team Crypto in the chat. What is going on, B Team? We got Felix, K Diggity shouting out the goats. Let's go. Shout out to K Diggity. Welcome in. Said thank you, Satoshi. Shout out to K Diggity. BTC needs a hand. Yeah. Shout out to Samuel. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to get some extra. There's a Mrs. Candles hands in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. We got Satoshi Stacker in the chat. We got Mitt. What is going on? Said the market froze right now. Everyone waiting for the sauce before they trade. Shout out to Mitt. Yeah. Hopefully we don't trigger any massive dumps. I'm gonna try to be as bullish as possible so we can get a move to the upside here, guys. But yeah, shout out to Spaceland. What is going on? Said hold me, Frankie. Alts are rugged. We're gonna take a look at Bitcoin dominance here, guys. When can we expect that alt season? I'm gonna try to give you guys an idea of what I'm looking at on the charts to potentially anticipate an alt season, and maybe we'll even get into some conspiracies about a potential incoming Black Swan event. Obviously very speculative. You can't call those. But I want to kind of talk about something that I'm thinking about here. It does seem like, I don't know. It's like I don't really trade off feeling here, guys. And I'm not going to trade based off this. But I will just say, shout out to Peter. Said, love you, Frank. Yeah, love you back, Peter. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, I do want to talk about kind of... are we ready for a Black Swan? There's an eerie feeling I have. Now, again, that's very speculative. Don't take that to the bank. But I do want to talk about kind of what I'm looking at. Freebie, not Phoebe, our goat, but Freebie says pump coming. And yeah, we'll take a look at that opportunity as well. But without further ado, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we will be giving away $150 in Solana. So let's run up the likes. Let's get 550 before 6 o'clock. I think we can do it. It's super easy, guys. Touch it with your finger, poke it, punch it, headbutt it, touch it with your butt, touch it with your elbow. We do not judge here. Do whatever you want. We're not looking at you. Just make sure you hit it. But yeah, shout out to the Mafia. Thank you guys for being here. Talk slow and more about BTC. What the heck? Shout out to Vori. This is not a crypto stream, actually. We just talk about random stuff here. So I'm not going to be pulling up any charts, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts here, guys. Oh, man. What do we got here on Bitcoin? So let's take a look here. All right. All right, let's talk about this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take these levels off the chart, make sure that wasn't a key level. Okay, so let's take a look here, guys. Obviously, we have this overall volume profile, which everybody knows. We've been trading in this forever. Super frustrating range. And for the most part, guys, here, just from the higher time frame perspective, as you guys know, we've been looking at this weekly time or daily time frame with our money flow crossing over into the red, which does make us anticipate potential lackluster retracements to the upside before turning back around and getting another drop back down to lower prices. Money flow indicates the overall trend, and just from a binary perspective, guys, the money flow is crossing over into the red. However, as you can see, our VWAP is starting to come back up here to that zero line. Now, this does not necessarily invalidate the money flow crossover into the red, but if we get that green dot, I do think this is our best bet at getting some kind of a bounce back to the upside here. And, you know, the question is this money flow going to fake out and give us another massive move up to all-time highs? Again, I'm going to cover the bullish case, and then I will also cover the bearish case because, like I said, it's very hard to call these money flow fake outs on the daily. We've seen it happen. We show it almost every day here on the live stream. Back here during the ETF approval, we got that fake out into the red, and then we came right back into the green for another massive move up. Are we about to see that happen again, or are we just going to see that money flow cross over into the red and give us a continuation to the downside, as this does typically happen when we see those money flow crossovers? You can even see here back in this range, you know, last time we were below a macro POC like this, right? We got that drop to the downside. You know, money flow was crossing over into the red. This makes you anticipate lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows for that continuation down to that value area low. And again, just in terms of the volume profile here, with that money flow coming out, guys, this is not necessarily what we like to see for a massive rip back to the upside. But like I said, we're going to cover those local levels within here. I'll take a look at the local structure and kind of let you guys know what I'm looking at here, because there is somewhat of a possibility of getting a bounce off these key levels. But again, there's not a lot of confluence down here. I'm going to cover that. But just in general, I want to be very clear about this. With that money flow, if we do not get that fake out, which we cannot trade off of, we have to just hope. You know, if you're taking longs down here, it's not that we can't get a bounce up, but if you're looking for massive rips into all-time highs, you have to be counter trading the indicators, which normally doesn't work unless you get a fake out. So you'd have to be banking on that fake out for another money flow crossover into the green. But pretty much what we're looking at here, money flow coming out below this POC, guys. It is just in general, looking at the TA here, somewhat likely to get that drop down to the value area low, sitting at about $91,619. Wow, chat going crazy right now. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to Veretti. I don't know. Verdery. I don't know how to say that name. I apologize, bro. But he says last Friday we had the same exact price action. Yeah, it's crazy here. But we're below the POC. Obviously, in terms of the higher time frames here, looking at that macro range, this point of control is going to be our huge level to get back above, right? Bitcoin got the drop down. I am still holding that short position over on Blowfin from a high here. And you guys know this POC is the strongest magnet within the profile. So we kind of bing bong up and down. We kind of stick to this as a magnet, which is exactly what we've been seeing all week for this nasty kind of grind, just choppy price action. But for the most part, if we remain below, I don't know why this POC is not labeled. Let me go ahead and label this so we know it's there. If we are unable to reclaim this POC, if you're just looking for a level to look at on the chart here, guys, if you're new here, just know within these volume profiles, as long as you're below that POC, the next likely place for price to go is that value area low. So we have to keep you have to keep that context in mind, and especially with that money flow coming down, could be somewhat likely. Now, if you want that move to the upside, we have to bounce off the local levels that we're at right now, and we have to get above that point of control, which is sitting at $97,343. Once we get above that POC, that's our best opportunity to start wiggling our way back up towards that value area high, which was technically front ran here. We actually rejected a weekly level of resistance. That's where I took that short from, but we did front run that value area high. So above, the major levels remain exactly the same. The lower levels, if we are unable to reclaim this POC and that money flow does indeed do what you would expect it to do, typically, that is where you look for that drop back down to the value area low. This is the bigger area where I would be more comfortable taking a long position. I don't typically take longs in the middle of a range like this. The higher probability setups are going to be at that high or the low. So for the most part, all week, guys, I've kind of been waiting for price to push its way up to the high or push its way down to the low to take another major trade. Other than that, I am just still holding my short position from up here, looking to see if we can lose that POC. I have profits taken, profits locked in, and then stop loss also in profit here. My stop loss is sitting just above this high. So if I get stopped out there, we'll get stopped out in profit, which is super nice, kind of a cushy position to be in. So I'm not really forcing long positions here, guys, to be quite honest with you. But I do want to jump down to those lower time frames. There are some mixed signals here, guys. Daily money flow is bearish. The VWAP coming up would be short-term bullish, right? Remember the green dots and the red dots indicate the ebbs and flows in the market, right? The money flow indicates the overall trend. And in this case, the money flow is coming out, which would make you anticipate lower highs and lower lows to come in. So that's the basic kind of daily bias here, in my opinion, on this time frame as we live below that point of control. And again, market does crazy things. It's not that we can't bounce from here, but that is just, I want to be very explicit about that. This does not look good unless we get that fake out. Now, when we come on down to some of these higher time frames, such as the 2-day, our VWAP is rolling up. This looks somewhat good at this moment, but, there's plenty of time here for this VWAP to get rejected at the 0 line. Money flow kind of flat here. You could argue that it is trending down, but it's not really that aggressive. This is kind of just flat, in my opinion. So that doesn't look as bad as the daily. And then you pull up to the 3-day here. VWAP starting to roll back over. And we cannot forget, guys, that we have the higher time frame bearish divergences confirmed. If I hide the TA, you can see we have clear higher highs here with the lower highs on our momentum waves on a lot of these higher time frames. 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day. These are all now confirmed. Weekly bearish divergence also confirmed, and our monthly bearish divergence, exaggerated bullish bearish divergence with that red dot is printing, which could potentially give us some more upside, but this is not confirmed just yet. There's a possibility if we got some kind of big rip to the upside, this could unprint and just give us a big push up. But I will say, a lot of these higher time frames with the divergences, the daily money flow coming out, does look overall like we could continue to the downside unless these VWAPs, this is the best bet for the move to the upside, is green dot prints, and then our 2-day green dot follows suit, and then hopefully we just get those to fake out our daily money flow and give us that bigger rip to the upside. So if you want to move to the upside, that's what you need. You need the green dots on the daily and the 2-day, and then you also need that money flow to fake out back into the green. And I mean in a big way, not just to come up here and then give us another lower high and continue down, because that's another possibility of what can happen. We really need to see that money flow start breaking these previous highs and give us into a nice strong wave. But again, you're trading against the TA at that point, in my opinion, so I wouldn't be making decisions based off that, but that's what we're looking at. Now, if we come down to the lower time frames, guys, I want to talk about some of these key levels that I'm looking at. Now, if you tune into the live streams, you will know we have been looking at this Fibonacci retracement when pulled from the low to the high, and this thing does not want to tap this golden pocket. We came down, we front ran it, we came back down, we front ran it again. Now we are hitting an important anchored VWAP. Shout out to, I think, C7 in the premium Discord actually brought up that anchored VWAP, pulled from a low here. All the way down at about $67,000. And if I pull up that anchored VWAP, you can see that we did actually come down and tap that level. Right here, right? We came down, physically tapped that level. So, this is technically a zone of support that I would be looking at. I would really prefer to see that golden pocket tap, to be quite honest with you. But as we hit this anchored VWAP, again, I would really like to push into this golden pocket. We also do, on the heat maps, have a little bit of liquidity living inside this golden pocket. So I would have really preferred to see like an SFP into that golden pocket anchored VWAP for a more sound long position. However, if we are going to bounce here, guys, I mean, again, the golden pocket and the 786 are those next local levels of support that if we are not going to go down to the value area low, these levels absolutely must hold, right? We have to bounce out of here, get back above that POC. And again, even if I were taking long positions here, you would probably have to look at this as somewhat of a scalp long based off of the daily money flow coming out as well as the key resistance above being that POC at $97,343. So if I were to take a long down here, which I'm not currently long, I'm still short from 102K, but if I were long here, I would be classifying this as somewhat of a scalp until it proves me otherwise, right? Because again, if you are going to have that money flow continue the trend to the downside, we could potentially come back up in here, put another lower high in, and then go attack that 786 and potentially have that range fill in full down to that value area low. So I don't want to say that you can't look for longs down here. Definitely, an area where you would hope for a bounce, but with that daily money flow has me a little bit, leaning more towards a potential drop to the downside. But again, that does not mean, that we're 100% going to get that drop. I want to be very clear. There are mixed signals on the chart here. We do have somewhat of a bullish divergence into this key level of support, and this is actually very, very close to invalidating here, right? This momentum wave is starting to come down. If we do not print this green dot with this higher low on our momentum waves, that confirmation will be gone. So we'll see, right? This is the level this golden pocket is sitting at, or golden pocket anchored VWAP is really sitting between about 95,539 and 95K even, and you would hope, right? And again, like I said, we do have liquidity living inside this golden pocket, and even a little bit below. So, hopefully, if we can get a little bit of a stronger confirmation down here, maybe we get the bounce, but I would be very careful with that based off the daily money flow. Well, I do think if you're going to get the bigger move up here, guys, you need that daily green dot. That's pretty much what it is, right? Like, we have the mixed signals. This price action's been absolute garbage all week. I only took one long trade down here. Other than that, I've been sitting on my hands, holding that short position in profit, and just kind of waiting for a stronger setup. Like I said, this is very choppy, very low probability trading in my own personal opinion, unless you're like micro scalping. And even that, like yesterday in the premium Discord, we were looking at this local range. We actually looked at this on the live stream as well. We had this little local range that we were forming, and we put in a little 1 hour bullish divergence down here. We actually looked at this bull div on the live stream last night, but we were looking at this in the premium for a potential bounce back into our volume profile to get that fulfill of the range potentially, and we did wind up getting that. But what happens? We wind up just getting another rip to the downside, and we wind up losing that POC again. And in my opinion, like, if we really wanted to get out of here, you got to hold that POC, and every time we get above it, we try to hold it, and we just keep losing it, which is honestly not really that good of a sign. And also another thing I'm looking at here, pulled from this high here at about $102,000, is this anchored VWAP, right? This anchored VWAP pulled from this recent high. Just keeps hammering price down, right? Like, we just keep coming up, rejection, coming up, rejection. Oh my God, we're above it. And then we just come up, barely retest it, and we lose the anchored VWAP and the POC, which is not really the best sign. So for me personally, guys, the way I'm handling this is obviously holding my short position, like I said, from the high here. And if I get stopped out, I'll get stopped out in profit. And if we do wind up getting stopped out of that trade, come up, break this high, I'll make some money on that short position. And then we're just going to look up to this value area high, previous weekly level, which is now tapped, obviously. But this is going to be the next major level, right? For the most part, for the next bigger trades, like I said earlier, waiting to come up to the value area high or the value area low. If I had to put a favor on it, guys, I would have to say based off money flow, we could likely continue down. But again, with some of these mixed signals, 1 hour money flow trying to cross into the green with that somewhat of a bull div printing, it's very hard to call what's happening here with that incoming green dot. But with money flow, I just have to stick to what we typically look at, which is a potential possibility of lower highs and lower lows incoming, again, based off that money flow. But these are the next key levels, right? 786 sitting at about 93,461. At that point, unless we really start getting out of there, again, I would just expect this value area low to act as a magnet. Not only is it a value area low, but we also have that liquidity sitting down below as well. And I think we also do have a spider line coming through, or a Heiken spider line. Yes, we have a Heikenashi spider line coming through there as well. So some other support down here on top of what we have on the value area low. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at, guys. Again, like, we were kind of at the same prices as we were yesterday. We're just kind of bing-bonging around here at the POC. If we can't reclaim it, I'm going to expect to get stuck underneath here and get the bigger drop down, at least towards the 786, lose the 786 down to the value area low. But for me personally, unless I saw some kind of strong setup, like if we saw a nice confirmation down here for a high probability long, I would be in the position. Doesn't mean we can't come up. I'm happy to sit out of that long. If we do come back up here, I'll make some money on the short and then just reassess the situation up here. Now, what if we want all-time highs, right? What if we want all-time highs? What if you want price to just break out and, yoink out, not yoink the other word. I'm not going to say it. But yeah, what if we just yoink out here to the all-time highs? What do we really need? Again, I would not put a high probability on that unless that green dot really rips us up to the value area high. Once we flip $103,000 at this value area high with no bearish confirmations, this is where I think we have the highest probability of coming and hunting the ton of liquidity that we have above this high. Sure, you have the 786 as a bonus level of resistance, but really, if you don't get the bearish confirmations as we deviate up here, maybe you wick into the 786. If there's no bearish confirmations up here, guys, I would say 103K is a huge level to get above. Flip that value area high, and then hopefully you can even look at it in context of the scalp range, hide the macro range. Boom, right? And then we'll pull up our smaller time frame range, get above that 103K level, which would get you up in here, and that's where you could come attack this value area high. And at that point, if we see the money flow fake out into the red, into the back, money flow fake out from the red back into the green, maybe we could see that continuation up. But again, it's a little too soon to call here, guys. Like, market cipher B money flow does not look good unless we get that fake out. And I just simply can't trade the fake outs, right? Like, I can't like put a high confidence on a fake out to the upside. And I know we did that back here. I know we did do that back here. During the ETF approval, and we were talking about that fake out, and I did hold my long position from 40K in anticipation of that fake out, which wound up paying us out in a huge way. But it's just not the same back here, or in our current price action. It's just a different situation. I don't feel as confident calling the fake out now as I did back here. And again, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's a really difficult point in the market right now, if I'm being quite honest with you guys. I just have to wait for those bigger key levels to get hit, which is totally fine. But I do just want to really hammer home, guys, like the higher time frames, the bearish divergence is confirmed. That daily green dot does not give us that big move up. I would probably put a higher probability on a continuation to the downside. And if that were the case, I would it'd be nice to form into an Adam and Eve, maybe. Let's see. But yeah, if we did get the bigger drop to the downside, guys, the plan remains the same. Like, this week has really been, I know the drops to the downside. I know the altcoins have been getting wrecked. But as far as Bitcoin goes, right, like the plan remains the same, right? Like in general, right? You lose this POC, right? Even back here, you lose the POC, you front run the value area low, you come back to the POC, you get above it, and then what happens? Eventually, you do get sucked down to that value area low. The POC acts as a magnet, but more often than not, you do see the full fill of that range. And if we are going to get the bigger drop down, you would hope, if that 786 doesn't hold, you hope that this low, you can get some bullish confirmations for the bounce. But again, if I want a big move out of this range, people ask me all the time, Frankie, when you're looking at a volume profile, I get it. Super high probability. You deviate from the high. There's a high chance once you get it back into the range that you come back down to the low, vice versa, bing bong, up and down. I get that, right? But how do you know when there's a high probability of a rip out of this range? And to be honest, like, what we would want to see here is the opposite of what we're seeing on the daily, right? If I want this to break to the upside, right, and yoink us out into higher prices, you want to see market cipher B doing the opposite, right? If I literally invert market cipher B here, this is what you would want to see, right? You would want to see money flow coming up and crossing into the green, which is literally the opposite of what we have happening right now. Now, I'm not the person that's saying, just because I think that the TA is saying this, that it is guaranteed that we're going to dump. I'm never going to come up here and tell you guys, TA says it's going to dump, it's 100% guaranteed, because it's just not true, right? But it is, in my opinion, the higher probability outcome just because of the TA. But again, the hopes here, if you want the rip to the upside, is that you just fake out all the TA and get the move up, which is possible, right? We saw that happen back here, like I was just showing you. But for me, I have to play this, with what the TA says. So I'm going to hold the short, like I said, and it's not that I'm like just shorting now, right? I'm short from up here, or short from up here. And if I get stopped out, I'm getting stopped out in profit. So I'm kind of in a cushy position here. And if I did see a really, really high probability setup down here, I would take it. But in my opinion, there really isn't a super high probability setup, at least at this point. But again, anything can happen. But that's just how I'm playing it, guys. Yeah, alts are already wrecked. Shout out to Mike Vito. We're gonna take a look at the altcoins in just a minute, and hopefully. BTC headed to the wick. Actually, something we were looking at in the premium Discord earlier today, guys. It's more, it lines up better on Ethereum, but I'm going to talk about the possibility of filling that wick, because that's another thing that a lot of people are looking at right now is like, hey, where it wicks, it sticks, right? We got that big liquidation wick. A lot of times price does like to fill those wicks. Is that, possible? At least the money flow would be more in line with that narrative than just ripping off into all-time highs here. But as always, right? I am a perma bull on Bitcoin in general, so hopefully we just get the TA to fake out. But the charts, honestly, in the longer term, don't look that great. And again, it doesn't mean that we can't come up a little bit and then just, put the lower high in and continue down. But I would have to look at that's my sentiment, right? If we get a push up on the daily green dot and that money flow does not give us a huge rip into the green, right? I have to, just based off the rules here, I have to look for lower highs and continuations down. But I want to take a quick look at Ethereum. We'll keep an eye here on Bitcoin and see if we can get the bigger bounce off of this golden pocket. Maybe we can get it, right? Because lower time frame, like, and I'm talking like local, right? Like scalp territory. You do have the 1 hour bull div if you can get that green dot to print before this divergence gets invalidated. Frankie, what invalidates the bull div? I mean, yeah, it's pretty much an exaggerated bull div at this point. You have slightly higher lows. It's almost equal lows on your oscillator with your lower lows on price action. So, that you could look at that as some kind of a confirmation to get a bounce off the golden pocket. However, you have that with your money flow in the green. And then that daily green dot would probably, if you get a push off of that signal, right, the daily green dot would likely print, giving you that retracement to the upside, which, again, we hope would turn into a massive move up. But, again, contextually, would be looking for a lower high and a continuation down. But if you were going to come up locally, that's what I'm looking at, right? See if that 1 hour bull div confirms, if that green dot on the daily can follow suit. Another thing we're going to look at, again, with that daily green dot is obviously, drop it in the chat. I want to see who pays attention to these live streams, or which Mafia members know what we're going to look at. We got that daily green dot. So what time frame are we going to jump down to here, guys? Let's see. Shout out to the Godfather, said, so how is this still a bull market? In 3 months, portfolio down like 58%, WTF. Well, shout out to the Godfather. Show some respect to the Godfather in the chat. I mean, for the most part, right, I assume that's probably a altcoin heavy portfolio. I couldn't think of the word. But yeah, I mean, guys, like structurally, like, Bitcoin is still in a macro uptrend here, right? Now, again, that doesn't translate to the altcoins, and really we need to see Bitcoin dominance cool off, which I'm going to take a look at in just a minute. But yeah, I mean, as far as Bitcoin goes, like the structure's still good here, right? But again, that doesn't mean that altcoins can't bleed out against Bitcoin, as price action just kind of sits here and continues higher. 15. Oh, God. Oh, there we go. Day Digital, 90 minute, 15 minute, 15, 15, 15. So shout out to anybody who said 90 minute. Typically, with those green dots on the daily, guys, we are going to look down towards the 90 minute and the 80 minute money flow crossovers, right? And of course, as it has been recently, very, very choppy money flow waves, right? Recently, just in through this chop, we come into the green, into the red, into the green, into the red. But if that green dot prints, if this 1 hour bull div does wind up giving us the bigger bounce to the upside, that daily green dot would be the next thing I'd look for, right? Maybe we push up locally back into that POC off the 1 hour bull div. Hopefully that could print the daily green dot. Maybe we get it during the live stream in the next 48 minutes. We'll see that green dot print, and then we're going to go down to that 80 and 90 minute, hoping that money flow comes back up into the green, because if that 80 and 90 minute money flow crosses over into the green with that daily green dot, it gives you the thought that you could get that continuation to the upside on the 80 minute or 90 minute. The trend would likely continue to the upside. The question is it going to be a trend to put in a lower high and continue down, or is it just going to rip us up into all-time highs? And again, it's, if we do get above that POC, I'm not instantly calling for all-time highs. We really got to get above the value area high at 103K. So if we did wind up seeing the bigger move up, we get the bounce off the POC, push into the value area high. This is an area where I will be interested in shorts, but if we don't get those bearish confirmations, maybe that's where we can go grab that liquidity above the highs. So kind of just like a gross market right now, guys. Just super low confirmation. We're front running that golden pocket. I'll be honest, if that 1 hour bull div came into that golden pocket and physically tapped it, like I said, we did tap the anchored VWAP, which do tend to be extremely strong levels, but I really would have preferred to see that golden pocket tapped. But we'll see if that 1 hour bull div gives us the move to the upside in the short term. First major target for that would be the POC, sitting at 97,343. So we'll see if that happens. We'll keep an eye on this in the short term here as the live stream continues on. But while we're waiting for that to play out potentially, we're going to take a look at Ethereum here, guys, real quick. 90-minute time, 90 minutos tam framos. Shout out to Samuel S. Let's go. Shout out my super chat. Hey, shout out to Jesse. Sorry, I missed that super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. And yeah, Jesse with the super chat. Thank you so much. Yo, happy birthday, K Diggity. Yo, let's go. Is it really his birthday? Shout out to K Diggity. Happy birthday, bro. K Diggity was able to guess that I had Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce on my desk the other day. So we're actually sending him a bit of Solana for guessing that right. And the fact that he guessed that it was Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce is kind of insane. We want to give him some bonus points for that. So yeah, shout out to K Diggity. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. And yeah, I guess we're indirectly sending you a birthday present, but it's really just because you guessed the Chick-fil-A barbecue sauce was on my desk. So shout out to K Diggity. Thank you, Jesse, for the super chat. I appreciate you. And shout out to Cali Crypto Dude for getting that membership. Welcome to the Hitman, bro. You are now once again, back in the Mafia here, and you cannot leave once you're in. I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. I don't know. Anyway, but let's see. Not a joke this time. Shout out to Jay Violet. And also, guys, happy birthday to Rob the Crypto Snob. It is his birthday every single day. And shout out to our mods, guys. We got Captain Kirk, Crypto Billy, Rob the Crypto Snob, Chemistry Bro, Darren Does Things, Dave Digital, Tyler Durden. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. But yeah, shout out to Andrew. Yeah, we are just bigging and bonging here. But I do really want to take a look here at Ethereum real quick, guys. And don't forget to smash that dang like button. 1,000 likes will get $150 of Solana sent to one lucky CandleMafia member. We are going to be giving away some Cardano to 10 lucky winners. At the end of the live stream here tonight, either way, but if we hit 1,000 likes, we'll give $150 Solana giveaway. Let's see. What is the name of the money flow indicator at the bottom that you're using? Shout out to Daniel says, this is Market Cipher B, right? This is Market Cipher B. If you want to save some money on Market Cipher B, I'm not just shilling this. I've been using this before I ever even knew Crypto Face, right? I've been using this forever, but it is one of the best indicators you could possibly use. I use it every single day. If you want to save some money, we have a discount code for 20% off, MCFrank20. You can check them out. But I do want to be clear, you do not need premium indicators to read the charts or be a profitable trader, but it definitely does help. Money flow is absolutely king. But I'm not going to lie. As much as I love money flow and as much as I want it, as much as it very rarely lies, I hope that it is lying right here on the daily. I hope if we're going to see money flow lie, I hope this is it. Remember this point on the chart. We are praying that this fakes out back into the green. That is our ticket to get out of here and avoid somewhat of a very potentially dangerous situation, guys, because I don't want to talk about the super bear scenario just yet, because if we lose that, that value area low, not only do we have liquidity below, but we could start dropping down to some pretty scary levels. But we've covered that so much, I'm not even going to talk about it. So yeah, we'll just see. There's no reason to really worry about this until we come down to that value area low and start losing it. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, we got Wall Street Mafia in the chat. The Crypto Mafia meets the Wall Street Mafia. Let's go. It says, can you check out Sheep? Also, I put my life savings in. Yo, shout out to Wall Street Mafia. You ain't lying about being the Mafia, bro. You're not messing around. We'll try to take a look at Sheep for you. No problemo. Yeah, and shout out to Crypto Cookie. Says, why look at alts if Bitcoin dominance continues to... yeah, shout out to, I can't say that. But yeah, it says just short the alts to zero. Shout out to Crypto Cookie. I'm going to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance actually right now, and then we'll take a look at Ethereum because I want to compare some things that we're seeing on Ethereum right now to some previous price action that does look a little bit alarming. And again, I'm not trying to spread fear. I'm not saying we're guaranteed to dump, but I just have to bring the information on the charts, guys, in a very raw and binary fashion, emotionless fashion, and just from a binary stance, it doesn't really look that great. So, but I do want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, guys, because whoa, okay, everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. What the heck is going on here? But if we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, I mean, here we are. I still got my drawings here from the premium. Let me go ahead and hide those. So obviously, guys, we know Bitcoin came up to this macro golden pocket, right? I'm going to pull it up on a higher time frame so we can kind of get the context here. It is pulled from this high to the low. And as we worked our way up here, this was a level that we looked at for a long time. As this Bitcoin dominance was creeping up here, this was our major level of resistance. I'm going to hide the local fib here just for a minute. But this was our major level that we were looking at. That was kind of our first opportunity to see some kind of an altcoin season, right? And you guys will know if you watch this channel, when we were seeing Bitcoin dominance come up here, I even had this exact drawing. I just moved it up because we have a new key level. But we were looking at this as like a key level of resistance, right? Because if Bitcoin dominance came up here, there was a high chance that we would get some kind of a rejection. And it could have been the potential start of altcoin season, right? Now, it did give us some kind of an altcoin season, right? We did get, a lot of alts were pumping during these months or during this price action or during this dump on the Bitcoin dominance. But obviously, it was short-lived. And even when we were getting this dump and seeing a lot of the altcoins pump, people were asking, is this alt season? And my stance on that was I think it is an altcoin season, not the parabolic face-melting gains on every altcoin. Every alt you're holding is up 50% a day, 100% a day. If you've ever been through a crypto cycle, you know those altcoin seasons are it feels like you're in a dream, right? Like I remember every altcoin season, it's like I'd wake up, check my phone and be like, oh my God, this has got to be illegal, right? Like I'm just printing money every day in a ridiculous rate. And we did wind up getting the drop. We did wind up getting a little bit of an altcoin rally, and then we just ripped right back up. And to be honest with you guys, this didn't even look that bad on this little retracement because what happened, right? We came up into that retracement, and this is where we look for a lower high and a potential lower low, which could have continued. This would have been more of an altcoin retracement before seeing a bigger rip. However, Bitcoin dominance just skyrocketed through the golden pocket. And I will say this, guys, as long as we are above this golden pocket, which is sitting at about 61.54%, if we continue this grind to the upside, if we continue this grind to the upside, I'm not going to lie, right? What do we always talk about anytime we're just looking at regular price action? If you get back above that golden pocket, right, you look first for a lower high here or a rejection at the golden pocket. If you get above that golden pocket, where's that next place that price is likely to go in case Bitcoin dominance is likely to go? 786 is going to be a big level to watch. So if we continue to grind up to this 786, guys, I'm not going to lie, the altcoins are very likely going to continue to bleed out. But this is a key level to look at. Now, I'm not saying we're guaranteed to get up here, but I'm going to show you another context that is a little bit worrisome here on the Bitcoin dominance. And again, I'm never trying to spread fear. I'm not telling you to sell your alt bags. This is not financial advice, right? Like, charts are only right a portion of the time, right? It's not 100%, but it is definitely puts the probability in your favor. That's how we were able to snipe this move before the altcoins ran. And we made some beautiful calls in the premium Discord on a lot of the altcoins that were undervalued, and we did see them run. It just kind of stinks now. Even some of them running into new all-time highs like Ondo. But obviously Bitcoin dominance comes back up and they all just get wrecked again. But in all honesty, if we continue this grind up, guys, we may be on our way to that 786 sitting at about 66.19%. 66.19%. And, again, alts would get wrecked on the way up here. But this is the level you want to look at because, again, just like there was a high probability of a rejection here, again, get above that golden pocket, you're looking for that 786. This is the next high probability area that we could potentially see another big drop on Bitcoin dominance, which would obviously be good for the altcoin. So if Bitcoin does start to approach that 786, what I'm going to be looking at is potentially, right, if we start creeping up here, right, the way I'll handle this is we creep up towards that 786. Altcoins are probably getting destroyed on the way up. But as we approach here, if we start seeing some bullish signs on the high time frames or I don't want to say bullish signs, but more like bottom signs, right? We're coming down to key support. Maybe we're starting to print some high time frame bullish divergences. Maybe money flow is coming up. And again, we'll keep you guys updated here every day on the live streams. But if we come up and approach these levels, this might be the time to start looking at altcoins potentially making a bottom, because if you can anticipate a drop down from here and you could catch those bullish signs on the altcoin charts, that could be a good time to scoop up some more alts at the lows. Or if you don't have any alts, that might be your next opportunity to get in before Bitcoin dominance decides to drop again, and we might see another rip up, just like we saw at that first Fibonacci retracement. Right? If we're looking for dumps, we're looking at the golden pocket and then the 786. The only problem here is if we go to that 786, the alts are likely to get absolutely destroyed. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. So all eyes on this 786. I hope we don't have to come back up there, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a, I don't want to do it, guys. And again, the last thing I'm trying to do is spread fear here, right? I haven't sold any of my altcoin bags. But again, I have different entries than some people. It really depends. Like if I bought a lot of altcoins at the top, I might have a little bit of a different situation here. And again, hopefully we don't have to go up here, guys. Hopefully, but it is on the table. But I did want to dig into the dominance today because a lot of people like to ask me to look at this. And I will just say this. I'm going to hide the Fibonacci. I'll keep the Fibonacci retracement. I'm going to pull this little profile here on this little area, little consolidation up here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this out like we do on our traditional charts. And, guys, if we look at this as a typical like volume profile theory, right, and the way we look at regular price charts, I will say, right, if we're looking at this as like, let's just pretend this is Bitcoin, right? Well, hey, you have a value area down here, right? You have a value area up here. Once you impulse out of this value area and you start ripping to the upside, where is price likely to go? Well, hey, just like on Ethereum, just like on Bitcoin, you're going to look to come back up into this value area. Now, it's a little different because it's dominance, but so take that for what it's worth. But I will say this, right? Value area low is resistance until proven otherwise, right? Now, this will all look familiar when we look at the price charts. Resistance until proven otherwise. But what's happening right now, guys? Let me mark out the value area low so you guys can actually see it, right? We are potentially breaking into this range. So this is like another kind of context that I'd be looking at, right? We came up, we tapped that POC. You would pray that you just are testing the POC for a massive dump, but if we are going to stay above this level here at 60.95%, could potentially continue back up towards that POC, flip that POC, 786 sitting there at 66.33%. Another big level to look at would be that value area high at 68.91, right? 68.91%. And just like directionally, this is so far played out just like a regular price chart. Right? Like I could show this on almost any altcoin I pull up. Like let's look at Dogecoin. I could probably find a perfect example. Right? Come on down to a lower time frame. Right? You have a value area low above, resistance until proven otherwise, and then you get in here, And what happens? You wind up filling that range in full. So again, this is not a guarantee. It is a little different because it's a dominance chart. But, just the way I look at the market here, like this is, you really would want to hope that you can lose almost 61%, right, at that value area low. As long as we stay above 61%, we have an opportunity to continue up here, targeting that 786. POC honorable mention here, where we just rejected 64.25%. Those are the next major levels to look at on Bitcoin dominance, right? And in my opinion, I put the most weight on the 786 personally. But POC sitting right there, and then your value area high sitting up here. So you guys I would highly recommend you mark these off on your dominance chart. But again, just looking at this as we typically look at, price charts, it's like resistance, and then you wind up breaking back into this value area. Hopefully we don't have to see that fill, but it would also, kind of go along with the narrative of getting above that golden pocket and then seeking that 786. But until, as long as we stay in here and price creeps up, those alts are going to continue to bleed. And I would just pay heavy attention to these purple areas or these purple percentages for the next highest probability areas to get rejections from. And again, the way I would physically incorporate this into my analysis is going to be, as you approach the key levels, check the altcoin charts, right? Are they looking bullish? If not, they're not looking bullish at the 786, or I'm sorry, at the POC on dominance. You're probably going to look for that 786. At the 786, are you getting those bullish signs on the higher time frames for your altcoins? If so, maybe it's time to start, starting to pick up some alts. Maybe you look for some long positions. But if not, maybe you go to the value area high. It gets pretty sketchy, right? But there's things that we can look at, right? You wait to get to the level and then you assess the situation. But I would be very careful as long as Bitcoin dominance keeps ripping up through this profile. Alts are probably not going to look very good. And to be honest, if I pull up Ethereum here, something I really want to look at with you guys is if we pull this up and we just look at this structure, right? And again, I hope that we hold, are we down here at these local fibs yet? No, local fibs still down a bit lower here for Ethereum. Again, I don't want anyone thinking that I'm calling these moves for 100%, right? Especially with some of the mixed signals on the Bitcoin chart. It's really hard to call at this point, but I will just say this, right? When we see this, right, it takes not too long to come on over to the daily, see money flows in the red, right? That would indicate the trend is going to continue to the downside. Obviously, VWAPs are coming up, so very similar to Bitcoin. Short-term upside might not be impossible, but in the context of money flow, daily money flow in the red, 2-day money flow coming out, maybe these higher time frame VWAPs come up, we get a little retracement. But unless that money flow starts yoinking into the upside, you would have to anticipate the lower highs and continuations down. And we covered the key levels where I'd be looking for those rejections on last night's live stream. It just all has to do with the Fibonacci retracements, right? Now, the thing I don't love about this is, again, the narrative of where it wicks, it sticks. And we actually covered this briefly last night. But if we look at this structure, guys, I want to pull this real quick. If we come on down, let me just come on down to other times where we've had massive liquidation events very similar to this. I'm going to mark this off on the chart just so I can come down to a lower time frame. So if we really just come on over here and we look at some of these other big liquidation events that have happened and kind of what that price action looks like before we continue down to fill that wick, I will say, I'll even come on down to a lower time frame. I will just say, it looks somewhat similar here, guys. And I was looking at this last night. I was kind of back testing this a little bit. And a lot of times when you get those liquidation fill the wick scenarios, I will just say, I guess I have to come up to a little bit of a higher time frame here. You do wind up getting, I guess I can't pull this from I'm not going to be able to go back far enough here. But pretty much, what we oftentimes tend to do is we do wind up kind of forming a very similar structure to what we're forming right now. And I don't know why I can't pull this up on a lower time frame like I was looking at before. I wish I could pull this up. Hang on, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Because it is kind of sketchy how eerie this is. We're looking at a different point on the chart potentially. But yeah, it's kind of this same structure here. Let's pull this, and then we come on down. I'll pull it to this wick right here. I'll come out of bar replay mode. Come up to a higher time frame. Drag this on over, and now we'll zoom in. Okay, so we do get this kind of very similar, bearish pennant type scenario playing out, right? I really don't like this. I wish, I don't want to butcher this. I don't want to, you get that big liquidation wick, right? And you start to form these, I don't want to call it a bear pennant because it's not really technically, it's kind of a wonky bear pennant, but you kind of come up and you just bing bong around here. You form some kind of like a symmetrical triangle, and then it just winds up breaking to the downside to slowly grind down and fill that wick. It's not as good of an explanation as I showed on the premium live stream because I'm rushing, but the structure is very, very similar here. And I just don't love the structure. It just looks like this, every time we get a big liquidation wick, you get these like big V-shaped recoveries. And then when you start to kind of bing bong around like this, it does oftentimes lead to a grind down to fill that wick. Now, on top of that, guys, we also have, and again, I'm not like 100% bearish. I don't want to, again, spread fear. I don't want people thinking I'm just like perma bearish here. I have bullish cases, but we also have a lot of liquidity sitting down here at the macro value area low, which was technically front ran, right? We came up, we deviated above the high, we got stuck back in the range, we got to drop back down to the POC, and we front run that value area low, which is the value area pulled from the bull market range of 2021. So, we have liquidity sitting down here. I'm not going to pull up the heat map just to save time, but we have the front ran value area low. We have the untapped wick down here, right, which back in the day, we were talking about how sketchy these untapped wicks were as we were pumping up. Are we going to come back down and fill them? And we did fill a few of them. We filled these lows, we filled this low, but we front ran this one. If we do fill that wick, there is an argument to be had that if we do continue down, you might want to go sweep that liquidity below into this key level, which is the monthly point of control. And in my opinion, this would be a big, big, big area if we get the drop. Hopefully we don't have to have that. But again, looking at that Bitcoin dominance, looking at the money flow on the higher time frames, looking at the bearish divergences confirmed, looking at the monthly red dot, hopefully this stuff gets stepped on. But if it does wind up getting stepped on and we get the big move up, I would just have to come up here and be like, the TA got stepped on, but at least it was to the upside. But there is an argument to be had that these are kind of unfinished down here. Liquidity below, monthly naked point of control. If we did get down here, guys, this is a huge area to look at on Ethereum, especially because everybody's going to call this dead. Ethereum's dead. It's never coming back. It's a dead coin. No all-time high ever again, right? Very similar to what they said about XRP, right? It's always so convincing when you're in bearish price action, right? People say, Ethereum, XRP is never going to make a new all-time high. XRP is never going to go back to old all-time highs. It's dead. It's never going up. How stupid do you have to be to still hold XRP as if it's been going sideways for so long? And then what happens, right? XRP gets a rip, goes into a new all-time high. So, Ethereum, kind of a similar situation here as it's been underperforming like crazy. But this would be a huge, huge, huge zone of support to be looking at between the monthly naked point of control and the value area low right around these wicks between $21.16 and $2,087. So we come down there, huge point of interest for me personally in Ethereum where I'll be looking for longs. Maybe even be looking to pick up some extra spot bags. But again, this would also be brutal for other altcoins, obviously. And again, that follows the narrative of filling the wick with all those high time frame bearish signals. But Frankie, is there anything bullish on Ethereum? Please, for the love of God, show me something bullish here on. Show me something bullish on the Ethereum chart. I mean, it's kind of similar to Bitcoin, right? I'll hide the larger range. Where are we at? Pull up our current range, bada boom, right? And to be honest, we're going to have to pull up that local range as well down here, right? The hope would be to hold above this point of control at the range, right? Because at this point, Ethereum is back inside its old value area, right? We say we're in between two value areas now. If we get below this value area high, that opens up the doorway to potentially fill this in full, which could be the start of filling that wick. But your hope here would be to hopefully, maybe you could pull from this local wick. That's probably a golden pocket 786. Yeah. So, your thought process here would be hopefully to hold this 786 golden pocket for a massive, massive bounce to the upside. You do have the 90-minute money flow coming, or 80-minute money flow coming out, 90-minute green dot and money flow coming back up. Daily green dot is confirmed. It's not that it can't happen. It's just that, Market Cipher B doesn't look like it's in a situation where we typically see that be a high probability. So your hope would be to hold this long or this support zone between 25.54 and the golden pocket at about 26.34. But even if you get a push up here, you got to get above this value area high. And then once you get back into here, you have all this local resistance. But at the end of the day, major resistance level still remains the same on Ethereum, sitting at this golden pocket value area low between $29.31 and $3,000. So that's your hope for Ethereum. But again, it would be much better if this 80 and 90-minute money flow was inverted, right? It would look much better if that 90-minute money flow was in the red and then crossing into the green, but we're just seeing the opposite. So I'm happy to let price work itself out here. So let's check Bitcoin getting a little bounce here. There we go. See if we can get it up to the POC. And then again, hopefully, just fake all that bear signals out and, just fly. But again, a lot of work to do here. But there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on Ethereum. Dug a little bit deeper there. But yeah, this would be the key level to hold. If we lose that 786, in my personal opinion, probably the value area low is going to be your next likely stop at 2430. Get out of this value area. Next major target would be this value area low. Because again, you're just viewing this as 2 volume profiles, right? Impulse out of here, you're looking to come respect the upper range, right? Lose this range, you look to come respect this range. If you leave this range, you're looking to come back up and respect this range. But yeah, we'll just see. Higher time frames just don't look that pretty, guys. I hope it fakes out. Just because it's on the chart doesn't mean that's what I want it to play. That's what I want to play out. Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to where'd that go? Can we get a bounce now? Yeah, I think short term a bounce is not impossible, especially if is that 1 hour green dot printing yet? Yeah, I mean, you don't have the bull div here on Ethereum, but on Bitcoin, you have this potential 1 hour bullish divergence into the front run of this golden pocket. I really would have loved this golden pocket to get tapped, but we did front run it slightly, tapping that anchored VWAP. So maybe that 1 hour bull div into the anchored VWAP could give you a push up. But then at that point, major resistance at the POC. Hopefully you can flip that and then send it back up to the value area high. But that's what you would need. If that 1 hour bull div does wind up printing, which it does look like it will, right? Short term, especially with your green dot printing. If that 1 hour green dot prints with this little bullish divergence, that can give you the start of the move up. Then once that daily candle starts to print, maybe we get the green dot on the daily. That can assist you to the upside. Flip that POC to support, and then send off to the value area high. That would be the bullish case. But again, I would just like to see money flow more clearly point in that direction. So 90-minute money flow, again, if that green dot prints, all eyes on this green dot and 90-minute money flow crossover. I'm going to put it on here right now. Best chance of getting this to pop up would be your 90-minute money flow crossover, right? 90-minute money flow crossover, right? Into, or with daily green dot, just to keep it short. That's your best bet to get on out of here and head up towards the value area high, in my opinion, right? You got to get that 90 minutes to fly back up. Yeah, and then hopefully your daily money flow flies back to the upside as well. But again, you would have to bank on that fake out, to be quite honest. But there we go. All right, let's see. Remember the good old days? Shout out to 2017. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Maxi. Yeah, shout out to 2017. Oh God, it's over, guys. It's over. Started working on my McDonald's today. Yo, shout out to Jose. Yeah, me too, guys. I put my McDonald's application in. I don't even know if I'm gonna get the job. I have no experience other than just screaming on YouTube and staring at charts. But I don't know if those skills are useful in McDonald's. So I don't even know if I'm gonna get the job. Unfortunately, I'm kind of underqualified. But we'll see. Hopefully. But that's the bullish case here, guys. That's the 90-minute money flow crossover with the daily green dot is the best bet for some kind of significant move to the upside, with the next biggest level of resistance sitting at that value area high. Hopefully we can get that. But yeah, that's what we would look for. Other than that, yeah, shout out to Blockchain James said for sure appreciate honest and real opinions though. Yeah, shout out to Blockchain James. I mean, that is all we can do here, right? Like, we know that the market is going to do what it wants, right? Regardless of if the TA is right. Obviously, it's right more than it's wrong. If you watch the show, you'll know that. But, you have to anticipate potentially the market's going to do something crazy. But nobody knows exactly where this thing is going to go. You'll hear people on Twitter. You'll see people on YouTube. You'll see people on TikTok, all this stuff saying, the bull market's over, guys. Wrap it up. All these idiots think they were saying this back here, they say it back here. The bull market's over. Y'all are crazy. It's going to zero. And I don't really have a problem with people thinking that, right? But if you think that without even considering the bullish case, or only looking at the bullish case and not considering the bearish case, you are going to lose all your money in this market, right? Because you're essentially just gambling on a 50-50 outcome, right? You're just saying, I'm picking up and I'm just going to bet on up with no other plan. And if it doesn't go up, then I'm going to lose all my money, right? And that's why I love being a trader, because we can look at both bearish and bullish scenarios and take trades based off of that, right? Even if we were super bullish here, right? Even if I were saying, hey guys, super high probability we're going to rip up to new all-time highs, we're still going to short where we see the shorts, right? Like I said, I am still holding my short position here in profit. I don't even know if I still have this up. Let me see here. I might have to re-log in. Bada boom, bada bing. Am I going to have to re-log in? No, I am still logged in. And hilariously enough, guys, this is like still sitting at the exact same place it was yesterday. I think it was at $2,046 yesterday, and now it's at $2,045. But again, I already have 700 locked in, stop loss in profit, so I'll make about $1,000 if I get stopped out of that. Not a big deal. Yeah, like we're making moves on the shorts and the longs here. So someone said, who said you can't short in a bear market? In a bull market, I break that rule all the time, and you can see there is money to be made here. So I'm going to continue to hold that short position. Again, a lot of people, they'll get bullish on the pushes to the upside, right? Oh my God, bull market. We see the bearish confirmations. We take the shorts, right? And it's typically the same at the lows here. Like I said, if I had stronger confirmation down here, maybe this rips up, but the confirmations aren't there. I am happy to sit out of that position, wait for another key level to get hit, and just get into another trade, right? Because as I always say, when it comes to your day trades, your leverage trades, your scalps, whatever it is, you don't have to worry about missing moves, right? If you miss the long position, you catch the short position. If you miss this long position, you can catch another short or look for a long on a higher low or something like that. So it's no big deal, right? So if this comes up and those confirmations not being strong don't matter and we're just going to get the rip up anyway, I'm happy to watch that come up, stop me out in profit. I'll make some money, have a great weekend, and then we can find those next trades at the next significant key levels that have high probabilities of a reaction, right? We're not just trying to guess exactly where the bounce is going to be 100%. We're just looking for those confirmations, and sometimes they won't look strong, and you'll still get the move, and that's totally fine, right? Missed gains are none of your business, right? Because you're always going to want to chase the trade. Then, if you start worrying about missing moves, you're going to wind up. This is where most people wind up longing when they think it's a bull. Oh my God, bull market, we're coming up. I have to long, right? But usually it's the opposite. You'll oftentimes see when people are super bullish, we are bearish, at least usually in the short term or medium term. And when people are super scared, that's typically where we're looking for longs, because you just got to basically counter trade the retail. So you don't want to short into, you don't want to long into resistance, which we were at here, right? That's why we short at resistance. And everybody says, right, it's a kind of an unpopular opinion because it's like, hey guys, I just entered a short, and people are like, what the heck is wrong with you, bro? We're pumping, obviously. You're literally shorting a pump. Why would you do that? And that's literally what you want to do, right? You want to short resistance, right? You don't want to short at support. Most people will short down here thinking it's going to zero, but we're looking for longs. And that's, you basically just got to counter trade those people. But there we go. We'll see if this bounce gives us a bigger move up. And hopefully, for the love of God, hopefully we get it. Honestly, surprised that we're holding this level. Yeah, I mean, there's not even really that much confluence down here. We have the anchored VWAP, which I would say is the strongest level, and then you have the golden pocket down below. But yeah, again, just because there's not a lot of confluence down here does not mean that you can't get the bounce. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, let's see. Should have dumped 2 days ago. Yeah. BTC U-turn, shout out to Pitbull. You don't have to catch every move. You do have to study every opportunity, missed or not. Absolutely. Let's see. Shout out to Moon Trade says, all seeds lay in darkness before breaking the surface to the light. I like that, bro. I like that. Okay. Shout out to I My Hero said, do you ever factor in times of days when getting in and out of positions like day trades, traditional markets, open closes, Asia, waking up, etc.? Yeah, you can. There's some pretty good indicators that'll mark out just really easily the session opens and closes. Yeah, I mean, if you just like back test this on the chart, right? If you come on Bitcoin and you just go to when New York opens, right? You get usually like big moves will typically happen during New York Open because you get that big injection of liquidity or volume, I should say. Yeah, so like, New York Open, you usually get a bit of volatility. That's where you'll see like the first big move of the day. So yeah, I do take it into account, but it's not like I don't really, I'm not like sitting down to trade Asia session or anything like that. 1K likes. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for the super chat. Said 1K likes in 3, 2, 1. Smash that like button, guys. Let's go. Let's run it up to 1K. Let's get it. Are you still holding long-term cryptos, or are you sitting on cash? Shout out to Tristan. Both. I am still holding my spot bags. But again, I did not buy, right? Like I know a lot of people who are in the market right now, like when they were buying XRP, they were buying it on these massive pumps. I don't know if you did this, but a lot of people were buying up here. I did not buy my XRP anywhere up here, right? So I'm still holding my XRP in massive profit right now. So some of my alts are down, some of them are break even. It's I still have cash on the side. If we do see a massive dump, I could potentially pick up more. But I'm not like panic selling my alts right now, if that's the answer, or if that's the question. Let's see. I don't remember what green dots look like. Crespo Crypto. Well, if I could guess here with Bitcoin pushing up, maybe that 1 hour green dot did print. Oh, it's so close. Come on. Give us the retracement. And we do have the clear kind of line in the sand here, right? Like you get the local bounce, right? Like we were just talking about earlier, if you get the bounce here, you can look to come into that POC, flip that POC. That would be the first kind of big sign that you could potentially continue up. But again, it just really hasn't held very nicely here. Bounce, back down. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we do have long setups from down here in the premium Discord, but I was very explicit. Like, they are long setups, guys. We do have the 1 hour bull div. We do have some confirmation for a potential push up, but I'm personally just going to sit out of it. Because again, I am okay missing this move up, right? Like I'm not like, oh my God, I missed this move. I'm never going to make money again, right? I'll make tons of money 100 other times within this one wave to the upside potentially, right? So, again, when I say that I don't take part in this trade, it's not to say that it's not going to play out or even give, I think it's somewhat likely to get some kind of retracement into the POC. But again, to long into key resistance as we're below that key level is just really hard for me to do. So I'd just rather sit out, right? Because I'm okay with that. Sometimes knowing when not to trade is the best time, or sometimes no trade is the best trade. Shout out to Tom Crown. He's a person I heard say that. Shout out to Tom Crown. But let's see. Tell us the Black Swan event. Shout out to Dave. Okay, so my idea on a Black Swan event, right? Like, obviously, do not take this to the bank, guys. This is super speculative. I cannot predict a Black Swan event. But I will just say, what if this bull market gets delayed, right? What if it's not over, right? Like what if we do, and again, maybe we find out it's not over and, again, everybody calls this the top of the bull market forever. And then, on Monday, maybe we're sitting up here and it's like, all these people that were passionately saying this was the top. It's like, what happens then? They call the top here, we put it in a new all-time high. They call the top here, we could put it in a new all-time high. And that's why I always say when you hear people talk like super, super decisively, take it from someone who's been doing technical analysis for years, spent tens of thousands of hours on the chart. I've been through 3 crypto cycles. So trust me when I tell you, when you hear somebody call for something very decisively, no matter how much you think you can trust this person, or no matter how confident this person sounds, or they might tell you they know something you don't know, or like, trust me, I talked to these people. Just understand that nobody knows where this thing is going, right? It's like that scene in Wolf of Wall Street. It's fairy dust. The thing goes up, down, sideways. It's all fairy dust, right? The only thing we can do is use this TA to give us a higher probability outcome, not 100% outcome. But when people just say this is the top 100%, it's not like a big red flag, right? Because nobody knows that at all, right? And any real trader will tell you that. Any good technical analysis, any real trader will tell you nobody knows if it's 100% going up or down, right? We could say something is a high probability, but we all know at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how convinced we are that things look like they're pointed in one direction. A good trader is always prepared and more importantly understands that there is totally a possibility that does not play out. And that's why I always say you have to have a bullish case or a bearish case. A lot of times people just want the yes or no. They want up or down. And this is why most people get wrecked when they listen to people, because they think that someone knows something they don't. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to come up here and tell you like, hey guys, like I don't have any secret information. I might be good at TA, I might be good at trading, but like there's no secret indicator, there's no secret information I have, and no one's going to know 100%. So I always tell you, gravitate towards those people. But the as far as the Black Swan event, right? Like, let's say, right, because we have been talking about this a lot recently for Bitcoin. Like, what if we do lose the lows, right? What if we don't hold the golden pocket? Because again, like, where's the highest probability area to get a higher low and a continuation to the upside? Because at the end of the day here, guys, I will say holding this anchored VWAP, like, this is a pinnacle point in the market, right? Like, we've held this anchored VWAP to continue these higher lows consistently, right? So this is a big level to lose. If we lose that anchored VWAP, right, like we've lost it before and reclaimed it, which is nice. But we could still technically continue to put in these higher lows and continue to the upside. And to be quite honest with you, again, I'm not a huge pattern trader, but I will say like a lot of people look at this as a double top, and this is why I don't trade patterns, right? Because you could look at this and say like, oh, it's a double top. It's the top of the bull market. We're never going back up. But at the end of the day, is this a double top? Is it an ascending triangle, right, which would be a bullish bias, right? Because this technically flat top of resistance trending up on your lower level of support, right? And even if you look at it this way, right, like this would be like a big level to hold as well. Get back into the ascending triangle, come back up to the high, coil up, and then finally these would technically break up more than they break down, right? So like, is it a double top or is it an ascending triangle, right? Because a double top is super bearish, but an ascending triangle is super bullish, right? So this is why you can't just look at one thing and just make a call off that one thing. Unfortunately, a lot of people like to sell trading as that easy, but it's just simply not the case. But we're technically holding these higher lows here, right? So, if we're looking to long a higher low for a continuation to the upside, like where is the highest probability area to put that higher low in at, right? Probably the golden pocket 786 retracement, right? So, hopefully we could do that, right? And this was more for the local trend. But, if we do hold this golden pocket, it gives us the ability to hold not only this trend line, but also hold this very important anchored VWAP, which has saved our butts a bunch in the past, right? Came down here, saved us. Whoa, saved us again. Whoa, saved us again. Whoa, right? So, this is definitely an important level. And that's why, with the mixed signals, I'm not I don't want to sit up here and say that's why I mentioned the money flow fake out, right? Again, sometimes we're just at this point in the market where things are hard to read. You have mixed signals. Money flow looks bearish. I hate to bring it up again, but same thing with back here, right? Money flow looks super bearish, but we continued up, right? You got the fake out and, technically, we could hold this higher low here. This would be a nice place to get a bounce. But I just don't love the lack of confluence down here and the way money flow looks. But it is definitely a possibility. I'm not going to sit up here and say just because, I think the TA is bearish, right? It doesn't, if anyone telling you, money flow is coming out, it's 100% guaranteed to go down. It's just not the case, right? It's just not the reality of the matter. This would be a big area to bounce from. So that's why I say, hopefully, I'm willing to be wrong on these lackluster confirmations. It's not a strong confirmation of mine, in my opinion, to get a massive rip up to all-time highs, but holding that higher low would be nice, right? And it could potentially just continue the uptrend. So I'm kind of neutral here. My spot bags, I'm still holding, right? So if we rip up, right, great, that's awesome. And for the shorter term trades, right, I get stopped at and profit on the short. Awesome. And then I can find my next trade. Very simply put. Let's see. Shout out to Jen Friend. That was good. Mr. Candles just popped in for my nightly dose of TA. Shout out to Jen Friend. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. General Knowledge said, wow, what a turning point of Bitcoin. Yeah, I would definitely say so. We just had a pump moon the other day. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker. Maybe the moon phases save us here, guys. Guys, I'll be honest, coming up here every day is, one of the challenges I have is, I'm here to give you the raw information, the raw TA. What did the chart say? Market Cipher B looks bearish with money flow and the bearish divergences on the higher time frames. That's a fact, right? It playing out being a fact is a totally different story. But that's the case, right? But on the flip side, you have to look at both ends of the situation. Holding these higher lows would be very nice, in which case maybe that golden pocket is the bottom. But I'm happy to sit out of that, right? Because I don't have to chase trades, right? I'm not a newbie trader, right? I don't have to chase trades. I'm happy letting that go and just finding my next high probability trade setup. It's totally fine. It's one of the less talked about skills in trading is understanding when to just me personally, I only take my trades if I have high conviction and multiple confirmations. Here, you're just banking on a 1 hour bullish divergence into a key level of support, which again was technically, the golden pocket was technically front ran. We still have liquidity below. So it's a little bit of a sticky situation. So I'm just happy to sit it out because I'm making money either way, right? I'm making money if I get stopped out. And if we come down here, my short will continue to pay me out. So it doesn't really matter. All right, let's take a look at shout out to Capital says 9 minutes until the daily close. This will be the third day in a row that we test the 50-day moving average and have gotten rejected. Dump incoming. Yeah, it would line up with Market Cipher. I will say this, if anything, guys, if there is any fact here on the chart, we are at a very, very pinnacle moment. It's anchored VWAP. Whoops. And even this golden pocket, we're testing this larger golden pocket, but we've already come down and tested that 786. Honestly, the liquidation wick has a lot to do with why this is a sketchy situation. If we're just looking at this from a simple perspective, hold the trend line, hold the anchor VWAP, hold this retracement, and hopefully we get the push up. But Market Cipher B is pushing it, pointing again in the direct opposite position. Or direction, I should say. So we'll see. Should we just FOMO long it with 100x leverage and see if we get wrecked live on stream? Let's see. Yeah, and shout out to Dawn. Yeah, I wish we had a better idea of when an event could happen. So yeah, my idea here is again just to go off that Black Swan event idea. If we were gonna just see a massive drop to the downside, right? I do think that if we did come down to the 80s or maybe even into the 70s, this would probably be accompanied by some type of news. Obviously, I'm just looking at this as a massive low volume gap, as well as understanding where the liquidity lies in the market, right? So I would just see this as hey, once we lose this high volume shelf right here, right? Like, big old volume gap. Quick moves up oftentimes lead to quick moves down. That's how I would view that, right? But I will just say, this would probably be some kind of news event, right? We would have to have some kind of like bearish black swan happen. Now, what that would be, who knows? Maybe we have some geopolitical stuff happen, maybe some macroeconomical stuff happen. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. But, if that were to happen, this is what's so hard about these crypto cycles, right? Because if we get a black swan event, the traditional markets are going to crash. Bitcoin will likely follow. Right? I wish I could say they are 100% going to follow because that's how I feel. But at the end of the day, maybe if the traditional finance dumps, I would put probably a 95, 98, 99% probability of crypto following because that's just what we've seen in the past. Every Bitcoin bull run, every alt season, all this stuff all relies on a macroeconomic loose monetary policy. So, if we do wind up seeing some kind of black swan event happen, maybe we get some kind of fake out bear market similar to 2019. Right, very similar to 2019. Back here, we rallied, right? And again, this is a different point in the cycle, but maybe we rallied, right, where we did rally. And then, black swan event, oh my God. And there were some macro indicators here that were warning of a potential recession, although this, I guess, technically was a recession, but it was very short-lived because it was a black swan event. So maybe something similar happens because we're having similar warning signals flashing here for a potential incoming recession, right? But is it going to be short-lived or is it not going to happen and it's all a fake out and we're just going to rip up and alt season's coming and Bitcoin's off into new all-time highs next week? Definitely a possibility. But, if we do get that, if we do lose these lows, right? And the reason I say maybe there's a black swan incoming, again, I'm not trying to predict this. It's impossible to predict a black swan. They're called black swans for a reason. But if we lose these lows, all I see is a massive low volume gap, which has a large dump, which would come in very quickly if we lose that volume gap, fall right through here. We have nothing holding us up. Likely, that's going to be accompanied by some kind of news event, right? Just keep that in mind. Every time we fall through a low volume gap, we know that gap is there and we're likely to fall through, but somehow magically there's some kind of news event that happens. But if we drop down here, I do think there would be some kind of black swan event, which would scare a lot of people out of the market. I don't know if that's going to put us into a full traditional cycle bear market, like a 4-year cycle bear market. I think it would more likely be lackluster, right? Because if you take a look like WW3, right, if you just kind of read between the lines there, I don't know if YouTube likes us saying that stuff. I don't want to get banned or whatever. But, typically that has a immediate, right, bearish effect on the market. But then if you look at the history, typically it winds up, you get that massive rip to the upside after an event like that. Very similar to something like the 2020 crash, right? Like we get down, we dump down. They're forced to start that looser monetary policy, and then you get the big bull run. So it's really hard to call here, guys. Really hard to call. I'm really interested to see what happens next week. But I will say, if we're going to bounce, this is the place you want to do it. You must do it here because if we start playing around with these levels, we are in danger. And again, we'll be looking for longs down here, but it definitely gets really sketchy once you start, again, dipping down towards that low volume gap. Right. I mean, you could test this anywhere on the chart, right? Like you take a look at these low volume gaps, like even here, right? This is something that we literally called before it happened, right? When we were, is the VPVR not going to load? Oh, it's so annoying. But back here, when we were in that 7-month consolidation, right? We were looking at this. Where was it on? Before the August dump. It's going to be hard because I have to take these candles out of frame here, so it looks a little weird. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. But, anytime we have a low volume gap there, I always say hey guys, if we lose that volume gap, we're probably going to get a quick drop to the downside. And I want you guys to be aware of those levels so you're not freaking out. And what happens, right? We come down, we fill that low volume gap. Everyone's like, oh my God, the whales are selling. But in the meanwhile, we're just falling through that low volume gap and, bull run's still healthy. So just screenshot this, right? And I'm not saying we're guaranteed to get this. This is again, I will never come up here and say, guys, this is what's going to happen. I don't know. What do I know? I'm a trader. If this doesn't happen, I'm prepared. If it does happen, I'm also prepared, right? This is why I love being a trader. But if we wind up getting the drop down, it's probably going to look something like this. Right? And we're going to know it was because of that low volume gap. Before we know that, some black swan event happened here, just let it be known. Somebody clip this. If there is a black swan event, we drop down here. Hopefully I'm not on a list now. Guys, the charts is a crystal ball. If we do wind up seeing a black swan event, again, I don't want to say that's happening. I can't call that. Very well could just yank out here. I got to stop using those words. But, if we do get the drop to the downside, just understand that whatever that story is, Fill in news event here. Right? We don't know what it is. This would be hilarious if we actually do get a black swan and a massive dump down to this through this low volume gap. I don't know what it is, but it'll be something. And we'll screenshot this. We'll screenshot this. Not to say I predicted it, but just to show, like, indeed, guys, that big dump was because something really bad happened. But really, we just knew we were falling through a low volume gap. So there we go. But that's enough on that, guys. I want to take a look at some of these altcoins so we can get into our giveaways. Let's see. Let's check in on Black Swan event. Shout out to Nirvana. I'm in it to win it. We ain't giving up now. Let's go. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Pitfrog. Yeah, nothing makes you more alive than walking on thin ice. Yeah, I would say that. Hopefully we can hold. That is the level. Even looking from a volume perspective, right? Like you hold this high volume node, maybe up to that value area high, get above, maybe get off an all-time highs. We'll see what happens. I'm going to relax and see it without having to worry about my trades all weekend, because if I get stopped out, we're making money, baby. But let's go ahead and continue on to some of these altcoins, guys. I'm going to do the altcoins pretty briefly tonight, just because they're all kind of in the similar situation, especially with Ethereum. The Matrix is real. The chart told you what it will do, and somehow global events coincide. Yeah, shout out to Escape the Matrix. I would agree. Render is the danger. Let's go ahead and take a look at... I'll take a quick look at Solana real quick. Let's come on over to our live stream chart. All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, so Solana, yeah, we were looking at this on the premium earlier today. I mean, you're below your value area low. Let's pull up the 4-hour here. So yeah, I mean, we're at our value area low. This is our first major level of support. Golden pocket, value area low confluence. If you can reclaim this value area low, it's your best bet to get a push back up here to your local Fibonacci retracements. Now, locally, I would be looking at this. Now, this is not a trade setup. I'm just using this to show you kind of the roadmap. It's easier than just kind of drawing, not a trade setup. But let's just say you do get a bounce here. I would first be looking for price to pull into these local Fibonacci retracements when pulled from the local high to the local low. Looking for price if I were to take a long here, which I'm not. If you did take a long here, I'd be looking to pull up into that golden pocket at about $205 and the 786 at about 211. And yeah, that would just be kind of the first target, right? Once you get above that 786, I would just simply be looking at this in terms of the volume profile into the POC, where you also have golden pocket confluence. And at the end of the day, at that point, you're above your value area low. As long as you stay above that level, you can look to push into the POC, flip that POC golden pocket. Obviously, you have the local 786, but at the end of the day, once you're above that POC, you look for that continuation and journey. Journey is the key level, guys, into that value area high that we typically see with the volume profiles. So other than that, I mean, still just sitting in the same situation we were yesterday. Bonus level down here at the 786. If you get one more drop to the downside, again, I would probably prefer a push into that 786 with some kind of bullish confirmation because, I mean... Yeah, I mean, you do have a little bit of a local bullish divergence, very similar to Bitcoin here, with your lower lows on price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. Maybe that gives you some kind of a bounce back up. Again, could that be the bottom, get above the low, fill the whole range to the high? Sure. But there's just from a binary fashion, there's not a ton of confirmation there with beautiful money flow or anything like that. So that's just why I would sit that trade out. Doesn't mean it's not going to play out. So yeah, other than that, I mean, as long as you hold into that value area, the levels above. Once you lose that 786 sitting again at $184, that's where you're looking down towards the previous value area, right? Whoops. Bada boom. Right? Get back to that value area high. Hopefully you can get bounced there, but we've already tested that golden pocket. So, you get below that golden pocket, I would probably be looking down towards the PLC at 142 and then potentially down here to the value area low at 124. So yeah, we would hope, right, that you can hold above that value area low and local fib levels that we just looked at. It's kind of, again, even Solana, kind of at a pinnacle moment here, right? If you're going to continue to hold these higher lows and continue up, this is the zone to do it at. You need to do it here if you do not want to drop back down to the value area high. Very simply put. So hopefully we can work our way back in here for the sake of the alts, or at least Solana specifically, and get back in here. But taking a look at the daily, green dot looking to print. So yeah, just generally overall, Bitcoin, even the altcoins here with the daily green dots incoming, it's short-term upside is not unlikely. But looking at it through the lens of the money flow coming out, we would look lackluster highs to put in lower highs and continue down until proven otherwise. Until that money flow rips back into the green, we have to look at it through those goggles. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Moon Trades, guess a Mercedes is nice too. Shout out to Nirvana. Oh, you guys talking cars in the chat. Don't get me sidetracked. Guys, my time has come. Gotta go. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Shout out to Gen Z. Have a great weekend, bro. Thank you for hanging out with us. But there we go. Let's see. Love the show, Frankie. Shout out to APX. I appreciate you, bro. And I love your show. I don't know if you have one, but I love it. If you did have one, I would love it as well. Let's see. Smash up. Spaceland said 935 watching, 440 likes. Let's show some love to Frankie, guys. Shout out to Spaceland. Smash that like button, guys. 1,000 likes. Let's run it up. Let's run it at 440. Let's see if we can run it up to 550 by 710. Let's see if we can do it. Smash it. Come on, baby. Come on.
Ayo,
Can we smash the like button? Ayo, Jay, can we get some likes? Shout out to Modest. Said, Frankie, can you give us a lesson on how you apply the anchored VWAP? Shout out to Modest. Maybe I'll make a tutorial about that and drop it in the beginner series. But I can explain it in 13 seconds. It won't be in detail, but it'll give you an idea how to use it. Anchored VWAP. Ready? Start the timer now. Oh, wait, no, wait till I select it. Start the timer now. Anchored VWAPs, you could simply select a significant high or a significant low, and it gives you a VWAP over that selected price action, giving you resistance or support, right? Depending on where you're pulling it from and where it's coming up to. So there you go. It's just another way to look at support and resistance. Boom, there you go. 13-second explanation. But destroy it, guys. Let's go. Shout out to Spaceland. 4-hour and monthly anchored VWAPs are awesome. Yeah, maybe I'll make a video on like more specifically how I use it. I don't want to go into like a full lesson right this second just because I want to move on to some of the alts. Let's see. Hey, yo, Frankie, bing bong. More bing than bong. Yeah, shout out to Satoshi. Let's get it. All right, let's see. What do the green and red dots mean on Market Cipher B? These are simply just indicate ebbs and flows in the market, right? So the red and green dots indicate the, I like to call it noise in the market, right? So like when you get a green dot, typically you'll get a push to the upside. Red dot, you'll get a push to the downside. Money flow indicates the overall trend. So say this is your zero line. Money flows in the red, and then it crosses into the green. This would indicate that your trend is likely to continue to the upside. However, the red and the green dots indicate the ebbs and flows, right? So you might get a red dot on Market Cipher B here. That'll give you a little push down. But if money flow is coming up, you're going to be anticipating higher lows and continuations to the upside. So the red dot would indicate a little push down, or a green dot would indicate a little push up, right? So it would be like red dot, green dot. And again, market never looks this clean, right? It's more like, red dot, green dot, 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 right? Something like that. But the money flow will indicate the overall trend. So that's really the important thing to understand is money flow indicates the trend. And then, if I just show you on some live price action here, you'll see, right? I'll pull up like a weekly time frame just because it's a little bit easier to kind of look at, right? So you see your money flow cross over into the green here. That would indicate the trend is likely to continue up, but you see you have a ton of red and green dots here. But what do they give you? They give you that noise, right? Red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot. But the money flow indicates the overall trend. So red and green dots, noise in the market, money flow, overall trend. So we took a look at Ethereum. We took a look at Solana. Let's take a look at SHIB. Let's see. Yo, it's crazy. People are saying Nightbot getting unhinged again. I don't even see the Nightbot. Is it even in here? The bongs are getting pinged. Shout out to Nico, man. All right, let's take a look at Render. I'll take a look at SHIB. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's pull up our actual Render chart here. Let's see. Okay, so on Render, yeah, I mean, a lot of these look the same, right? Like, this pretty much looks exactly like Ethereum, right? You got the big wick, the move up, and then you're just kind of grinding down. And again, a lot of times when you fill the wick, this is oftentimes what it looks like. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, I'll give you the key levels on Render. Like I said, a lot of the alts look very, very similar. I'll try to find some of these lower levels that you can look at. Yeah, it's pretty far away. Yeah, I don't want to pull a ton of. I don't want to pull a ton of ranges here on you guys. I don't want to confuse everybody. But I will just say this, right? Like, if you get the move to the upside, right? Like Bitcoin, if you get the 1 hour bull div to give you that move to the upside, that green dot starts to print. Did we get the green dot on the daily? Not quite yet. But that money flow trying to peak back up. That's not a bad sign. It's not enough to call for a fake out, but you'd rather see that than not see it, I guess. Look at this price action. This price action is garbage. On render, like your goal, right? Like what you would really need to get back above key level of resistance, 445, right? Get back above that 445 level. See if you can get back inside this range. But again, really what I like to see down here are it's really this wick. I really like to see significant bullish divergences, which you really don't have. Maybe you have a little local 4 hour bull div here, all right? Like little lower lows, higher lows. But again, you guys will see me when the confirmations are good below a value area. It would be like, hey, this looks pretty nice, right? Bullish confirmations below the value area low. Could look to get back in there and shoot up to the high. But this is just not beautiful. Money flows gross. It's a little local bull div. I would just wish it looked a little cleaner, right? Now, the 1 hour bull div's a little bit clearer, right? So you got nice lower lows on your price action. You have nice higher lows on your momentum waves. Money flow also, again, money flow is fighting you here. It's you like to see these nice rounded waves to cross into the green. So it's just a ton of mixed signals on the chart right now, guys, which is why I'm happy to miss, again, with the likely local move up on Bitcoin, even if that winds up turning into a big rip, I don't mind that, right? I don't mind sitting out on that because it's just I'm not going to take positions. I'm not that, I don't want to say I don't take positions on less confirmation, but I just you have to manage the risk. You have to treat them as scalps until proven otherwise if there's not a lot of confirmation. Doesn't mean you can't take the trade. You just have to treat it as a lower probability. But the bullish argument here would be bull divs on the 1 hour, get above that 446 value area low, and then hopefully get a continuation up. Daily, green dot has been confirmed. You have no bull divs or anything like that. Money flow still in the red, so you would have to classify that as a little bit more bearish, right? Well, hopefully you can just tick that VWAP back up, get back into this range, and I would look for a move into the POC and the value area high. That would be the bullish case. Hopefully that 1 hour bull div gives you the move of a lifetime, pushing you into that value area high. And again, if it's going to do something like what we're looking at on Bitcoin for a local move up off that 1 hour bull div, I don't think a short-term move to the upside is, I think that's probable, right? But you just have to be careful because you're really just sitting below a ton of resistance. But 446, get above there, then maybe get a little continuation down, continuation up, pull from this high to the low real quick. And yeah, you have pretty nice, let me get rid of the blue boxes, right? Because boom, right? So your key levels of resistance on render would be 786 value area high. Boom. And then you have your POC golden pocket. So there you go. Maybe you can get a pop up there. I would just be careful if you come up here. Be careful around that POC golden pocket because, again, if that downtrend is going to continue, if the money flow is going to stay in the red on the higher time frames, you might look for lower highs at these areas. If you get above them, then we can reassess the situation. But if you do get that move back into this range, I would look for POC, get above there, look for the golden pocket 786. Just be careful. Those are very important local resistance levels. So there you go. Let's see. Let's go. Shout out to One Hype. Soul says, sorry, Frankie, I'm late, but I brought my pen and paper. I'm ready. What did I miss? Shout out to One Hype Soul. Bitcoin is going to $1 million off a 1 hour bull div with very little confirmation. We're going to $1 million though. Shout out to Hype. Let's get it, baby. I'm just kidding. I blame this garbage market on dilution. Too many meme coins, potentially. I do think that does take a effect. I do think that takes an effect. They did suck a lot of the liquidity out of the utility coins. That is for sure. Because, again, here's the thing, right? Even when we got that first drop on Bitcoin dominance and we did see some of the altcoins rip, really the only ones that ripped were, the meme coins. Doge did really well, right? Then we saw, some of the newer coins. We saw Ondo do well. We saw a lot of the altcoins do well. But, a lot of, the traditional utility coins. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't even know who this guy was. But I saw this guy yesterday. It was a podcast clip. And he was talking about how he thinks that meme coins, and I'm not saying I agree with this, but I did agree with a lot of what he was saying. he was saying like meme coins are going to be, I mean, I do think meme coins are going to be huge going forward, obviously, but he's like talking about how even in previous cycles, guys, at the end of the day, most coins are basically meme coins under the facade of technology, right? Like most of these coins have tech and roadmaps that aren't real. They don't ever develop the technology. All it is about building hype and marketing and getting the coin to go as high as possible. And 99% of these coins never even make new all-time highs in another cycle. Most of them don't do anything, right? They're all false promises and they're based off hype and speculation. So really a lot of utility coins that never come back are pretty much just meme coins. So, and he was saying like, you could argue that like, if you're going to make a crypto, just make it what it is, which is a meme. And he said a quote, or I don't know if it was a quote, but like he said, meme coins tokenize the intangible, right? Where regular altcoins can tokenize or, like assetize, I guess you can call it, like technology, right? If it's real, right? Which most of the time it's not. But meme coins just like tokenize the intangible, right? Like memes or like whatever characters, right? And like you can't really tokenize, like it lets you tokenize anything. And at the end of the day, meme coins are like, obviously the rug pulls are rampant. It's like the most like scammy space ever. Crypto's a very scammy space in general, but meme coins are like extra scammy. But it's almost like at least they're not pretending to be something they're not. They're just like, hey, this is a meme coin, and if you really like this dog with a mustache, then just buy it and support the cause, and let's send this thing to the moon. And it's like it's one of the most authentic cryptos in general. And it is true, like a lot of like utility coins are basically just meme coins under the facade of like tech, right? Which most of the time never actually gets developed other than like the real stuff. So it's pretty interesting. There's no NFTs. I mean, I think meme coins are the NFTs of this cycle, right? I would agree with that. Yeah, there's no NFTs really this cycle, which is interesting because all that focus is pretty much on meme coins. But again, it's like a lot of that focus went into the meme coins, and it takes it away from like the real utility projects. Fart coin is all you need, right? Like, yeah, like we're just tokenizing farts. Like, at least it's honest, right? Let's see. Yeah, you are. I mean, yeah, shout out to Crypto Max. Yeah, you're getting rich off someone else's dollar regardless of whatever you're investing in, whether you're investing in stocks or anything. You're basically just trading is a zero-sum game, right? You're just like, there's a buyer for every seller, and you're just, when someone loses, you're taking money out of people's hands every day. So yeah, it's pretty much a zero-sum game. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Shout out to John says, yeah, man, screw memes. These alts are risky enough. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to True Crime says absolutely. All right, let's continue on here. Fartcoin tokenized air, jarred air. But anyway, let's continue on. Don't become exit liquidity. Yeah, obviously, meme coins are super risky. Most people lose their money in meme coins. Obviously, but yeah, until we get yield in crypto, then we can all make money. Shout out to Steady Bug. Shout out to Kembro. Kind of weird, catch-22, where if the attention isn't on good alts and all the liquidity going into memes, then all good alts won't move, but attention isn't going to go on. Yeah, shout out to Kembro. I mean, yeah, the question is, like, are we going to see the focus of that attention go into the meme, into the actual utility coins? I do think that'll eventually happen, right? I do think that'll eventually happen, hopefully. At the end of the day, then, it's like, if that doesn't happen and none of the utility coins wind up pumping, we never get that liquidity back into the utility stuff. Yeah, like, crypto has just become, like, the degenerate home, even more than it already is. But, yeah, basically, they won't move without attention, but they won't get attention until they move. Yeah, Kembro. Yeah, that's kind of like yeah, that's a good point, bro. That's a good point. Because, yeah, no one wants to buy XRP until it's screaming to the upside. Nobody wants to buy anything until it's screaming to the upside. Yeah, that would be super, super. But when COQ? Let's check out COQ. And I'm probably, like I said, guys, a lot of these alts look exactly the same. But let's just take a look at this. COQ. I still am holding my COQ. Probably down. Yeah, I'm definitely down for the first time. I got into this pretty early, right? I'm holding this, right? Like, meme coins are, I expect these all. Every time I buy a meme coin, I'm just like, this is probably going to go to zero, right? You're putting in very low amounts of money into, 100 meme coins, hoping one pops off. That's kind of the strategy there. You buy 10. you have $100, you put $10 in 10 different projects, and you hope, you expect 9 of them to go to zero. Hopefully one makes you money back plus some, right? It's kind of like the strategy. You get a little more nitty gritty trying to snipe the new coins and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm holding this, right? If we go into a massive meme coin, if we go into a massive altcoin season and AVAX starts ripping and all that stuff comes back, maybe COQ will wind up making a comeback. But, I'm totally happy, not happy, but, I'm totally okay with that going to zero. Shout out to Justice said, okay, what the heck is altcoin season? I got into crypto 7 months ago, and I've never experienced altcoin season. Is it that good to make people rich and all that stuff? Yeah, shout out to Justice. Oh, man, altcoin season. Oh, the glory days. Yeah. So altcoin season is when you see profit rotations from bigger assets, obviously mostly Bitcoin, roll into the lower cap altcoins, right? So typically, traditionally, what you see in a cycle is a massive run-up on Bitcoin, and then more often than not, when you see the consolidation on Bitcoin, or pretty much when people take profit off on Bitcoin, they will roll that into the mid to low cap altcoins, and then once those rip, people take profits from those, and then it funnels down to the lower cap altcoins. This cycle has been a bit different, where it's kind of just been the meme coin cycle where crazy degenerate, because of pump fund and all this stuff, there's so many coins being launched every single day. Thousands of coins are being launched, and we've kind of just had a steady meme coin cycle, right? It's not even like a meme coin season. It's just kind of like a meme coin cycle where, don't get it twisted. Most people are just losing their money, and the few are getting rich, right? That's kind of how anything works. But altcoin season is traditionally when you see the profits roll from Bitcoin into the lower cap altcoins, and the altcoins absolutely go ballistic. Pretty much everybody's making tons of money. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say everyone gets rich. Everyone gets rich on paper. Everyone gets rich in their camera roll with their screenshots. And then most people hold it all the way back down to the bottom because no one has the discipline to actually take profits. It is a glorious thing when it happens. But unfortunately, we just haven't really seen it happen, right? We saw it and a big indicator of that is when Bitcoin dominance comes down, right? This is showing that people are leaving Bitcoin, and more of that dominance is going into the other sectors of the market. Even when we got this little dump down on dominance here, we saw things like XRP go absolutely ballistic to the upside. So that's just like a little taste of what altcoin season could be like. This was like a little mini altcoin season, but typically we see something crazy happen, right? Where you see like a massive dump down on dominance. So little taste of what that happened on XRP. Hopefully we can get a much bigger drop to the downside, which would cause real altcoin season. Hopefully that winds up happening. So there you go. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah. Shout out to Steady Bug. Until quantitative easing, crypto is gonna keep dumping. Alts will keep dumping. I mean, I can't, Bitcoin's not dumping, right? Like from a higher time frame perspective, Bitcoin's just consolidating, but absolutely, right? You need that loose monetary policy for everything to go parabolic. 100% agree with you, bro. That is what we're looking at. Dang, they killed Peanut again. Yo, shout out to Tony. Peanut getting absolutely destroyed. Oh, dang. Really went to zero. Yikes. Shout out to Kembro. QE is beginning, but they just aren't making it obvious. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it does take time for this to cycle into the economy. Absolutely. Shout out to Kembro. I couldn't have said it better myself. Shout out to Captain Kirk said, Frankie, I need you to look at a coin for me. Shout out to Captain. What are we looking at? Here? We got to respect the mods, guys. Let's see. Let us know what we're looking at. Let us know what we're looking at. If we can find the ticker, we will look. Peanut rug pull. Good Lord. My alts are down 30%. Yeah. Yep. Mine too. I just want Pepe to pump. Spaceland said, Frankie, are rate cuts good for crypto in mid or long term? Typically long term. It does take a little bit of time for it to cycle through and actually see the effects in the markets, especially in risk on assets like what is this stuff called again? Crypto. There we go. Okay, let's continue on. I have to make sure I didn't miss anything here in chat, guys. But yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll take, I want to get the giveaways. Yeah, let's get the giveaways going here, and then I will go ahead and, yeah, how are we going to do this giveaway? Shout out to Tony D. Are we going to try Nightbot again? All right, let's see. Bada boom. All right, let me try to get the at Tony D. Let me actually call Tony real quick. Bitcoin continuing to get a Bitcoin continuing to get the little push to the upside here. Again, nothing really significant just yet, but let's see. Are we pushing up towards that POC? Where we at? Where we at? All right, working our way up. Is she gonna make it? Still got a bit to go. That'll be the first major target for that 1 hour bull div. Let's see if we can get it. All right, let me see. Let me call Tony here and see what we're doing. Okay, let's see here. Let's call up Tony. I would put him on speaker, but I'm afraid that he's gonna answer with some kind of crazy stuff. Yo. Yeah, so what are we doing here? What tell me what to do. I don't want to cause chaos. So let's put, all right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're going to try Nightbot here again, or we're going to try the bot to do the, okay. All right. Okay, so they need to chat? Okay, gotcha. Okay, guys. All right, so if you are chatting, you have to chat to get entered in. You don't have to spam chat, but you just need to send a chat so you're active. So if you have not chatted yet, drop a chat in the chat. Drop a chat in the chat. I think he hung up on me. Drop a chat in the chat right now. But just try to send one. Just be active, and then we'll let it settle down a little bit. We'll do drop a candle in the chat to get entered, and just one. You don't have to spam. Just drop one. And then we will go ahead and the whole thing is you just have to be active in chat over the, recently active in the chat. So there we go. We'll let you guys drop the chat here. Maybe we'll play some music here as well. What should we play? Oh, there we go. And I'm going to wait for it to slow down a little bit, and then we'll call the winners. I'm going to put slow mode on when we call the winners, too, so we can announce them. Come on, baby. I'm going to blow up Mrs. Candles.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text.
Oh, we're pumping Bitcoin too, baby.
That's why I can't forget, this ain't a test.
Let's go.
Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and
she's
take
not doing good,
so
guys.
I need your best, and stop the threats. Don't know what is enemy, I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I'm going to pass out, guys, but it's working. We're blowing up Mrs. Candles, and it's pumping Bitcoin. Let's go. All right. Hey, she's back to life, guys. And look at that. Guys, I'm not going to lie. There is something to smelling Mrs. Candle's hands and pumping up the real Mrs. Candles here to get Bitcoin to move. All right, here we go. Real quick. All right. All right, so you should be entered in. If you have sent to chat, you should be entered into the chat, into the giveaway. I'm going to put on slow mode here just for a minute to cool off the room so Tony can pull the winners and we can actually shout them out a little bit. Where we at? All right. I'm going to put it in. All right, I'm going to put a oh, I can't. What's the maximum? Okay, I'm going to max out the slow mode here. Okay, so you should be entered in. And that should slow chat down a good bit. 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Love your content. Shout out to A Good. Hey. You saying the content is good? Shout out to you, bro. So there we go. And by the way, if you're new here, this is Mrs. Candles. This is my girlfriend. I know she doesn't look real. But she is. She just gets a little shiny sometimes. But anyway. All right, let's continue on here. We pumped up. I'm not going to lie, guys. We play some music. We blow up Mrs. Candles. Bitcoin pumps a bit. All right, so here we are. Giveaways. Shout out to Escape the Matrix. Hey, speaking of you, brother, we were just talking to you before. You won some free Cardano. Let's get it. Let's see. We got Pharaoh. I don't know how to say that. You just won a giveaway. I got to be, I got to move slowly here. I'm just going to let them all go. And then I'll announce them. If you see your name announced by the Nightbot, go ahead and jump into the free Discord, go to the giveaway section, or go to the help center and claim your free prize. Slow the chat. Shout out to Hans. I got the slowest setting here on chat. So let's see here. We got one. Oh, no. Does that slow down Nightbot too? That would be kind of trash. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to have to find a different way to do giveaways. This is hard. This is brutal. This is Lurkers Alive. Shout out to Nirvana. Let's go. Yeah. Maybe we got to figure out what a different way to do this. This is brutal. I mean, hey, if you see your name in the chat, I mean, you want a giveaway. I like to announce it to show people some love. But at the end of the day, just make sure if you are mentioned by Nightbot, we have 10 winners here. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, yeah, so we got him. Shout out to Escape the Matrix. Shout out to Faru. Shout out to bada boom, bada bing. Leon, congratulations. You won some free Cardano, bro. We got Moss won some free Cardano. Let's get it. JP Captain Morgan. Shout out to you, bro. You got some free Cardano. That looks like that's a new name in the chat. Hopefully that's your first giveaway. Welcome to the CandleMafia, bro. We got P-Dub getting the giveaway. Let's get it. Bada boom, bada bing. Jenko. I don't know how to say that. Shout out to you, bro. You want a giveaway. And shout out to Groat. You won some free Cardano. And last but not least, we got Peter. Shout out to Peter winning some free Cardano. And I believe that is it. Shout out to Tony D says, Tyler is recording in real time. We got 10 winners. Nightbot is not in slow mode. Yeah, that is a good thing. Looks like I need to lurk next time. Shout out to Cryptic Crabman says, rigged. It's all rigged, guys. It's all rigged. But yeah, shout out to everybody who just won a giveaway. I don't think we hit 1,000 likes. Otherwise, we'd give away one more for $150 in Solana. And we got 545 brutal likes. Did he say Peter? Is that wrong? Did I read that wrong? Groat? Did I miss Groat? I thought I said Groat. Yeah, this is crazy. That is absolute chaos. I'm not going to lie. But there you go, guys. Congratulations to anybody that won a giveaway. Bada boom. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Oh, my God. I missed that coin, didn't I? Dang it. Shout out to Captain Kirk. I will try to take a look at this on the fake out. But we are running out of time, guys. Stick around for the Frankie fake out, and hopefully I can get that coin so I can take a look at it for Cap. But guys, with all that being said, go have a great weekend. We got the short-term up, or we got the start, at least, of that short-term upside for Bitcoin based off that 1 hour bull div. Just watch that POC, guys. That is the first key level we must get above at about $97,343 in order to potentially open that door up towards that value area high. But mixed signals. Hopefully we can get some more clarity next week, guys, and have some more opportunities to get into some actual significant trades and not get this choppy garbage price action. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. I mean that. I'm not just saying it because I'm on camera. But yeah, go have a great weekend. Go touch some grass. I appreciate you all. And I don't know. We're going to do a late stream tonight. I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to go. But I do have something to do with Mrs. Candles. But anyway, guys, stick around. We'll do a fake out real quick. But with all that being said, that's all the time I got for right now. I'll see you guys in like 30 seconds. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to Captain Kirk. Wants to take a look at Fart Boy here. Guys, the fart coins. The fart coins, and what was the one? Oh, Butthole coin as well. Might be the asset of the century, but Fart Boy here ripping, absolutely ripping to the upside. This is a Solana meme coin. Yeah, there's, to be honest with you, not much TA I can give you here other than looking at this little volume profile down below. Would be key support. Let's see. Let's take a look at some fibs here. Yeah, you probably have a little micro range here as well. So yeah, I mean, I could actually, surprisingly, get some decent TA on this, right? So, I mean, this will be a big zone to look at. I'm not gonna, mark out every single level, but I will go ahead and just highlight this so you can get them on your chart. We got the value area high, we got the POC, we got the value area low, and then locally, I mean, this is pretty much impossible for me to, is this going to give us a, am I going to be able to like call a move based off market cipher? Probably not, just because meme coins are hard. They're just pumped off randomness, I guess, or, I mean, I don't know. They're just, they don't really pump basically based off technicals, but I mean, you do have, I would say this, right? And like, again, I don't know, like this could rug, right? Like, so if this rugs, I'm not going to say, if this thing just starts rugging, I wouldn't necessarily just long the golden pocket. But I will say, if I was looking at this as some kind of traditional, I was looking at this from a traditional TA standpoint, I would say, if you do get a pullback, if you do get a pullback, I would watch this local volume profile, which is confluent with the golden pocket when pulled from this significant swing high or swing low to the high. Golden pocket value area low confluence. Again, I don't know if you're going to come back down there, but if you did, could be a decent place to look for a bounce. However, if this thing keeps screaming to the upside, that fib is going to move, right? So if we keep making highs, you're going to have to keep moving that fib up. But there we do right now, at least as of right now, you do have some confluence here on that golden pocket value area low. So kind of a shot in the dark here. I mean, this thing could just keep screaming, or you could rug, or you could come down here and trade technically into that golden pocket value area low. So from a technical perspective, this is the key level of support that I would look at. 786 sitting down here at about 2626. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker. Stream Deck pooped out of me there. Thank you for the super chat. Said the creator already rugged. It's a community coin. Okay. All right. Hashtag Yoink. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Thank you for the super chat, Satoshi Stacker. But yeah, I would say fart coin outperforming the dinosaur coins. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. This actually just goes to what we were just talking about with the meme coins. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, I would watch that support. Obviously, always be careful investing in meme coins. You know, this thing could just go to zero. But anyway, those are the key levels I would look at. If you lose that 786, look down towards this volume profile at these 1814 value area high, 1532 POC, and 1055 value area low. And with all that being said, guys, go have a great weekend. Go touch some grass. Maybe Bitcoin will keep pushing to the upside here off that 1 hour bull div. Just be careful for those potential lower highs and pray for that daily money flow fake out. And hopefully we can just send this thing up to higher prices. But you guys know all the key levels. Go have fun this weekend. Please be safe. And I will see you guys on Monday right here. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. I'm going to go blow up Mrs. Candles a little bit more. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal